Hi, Forex Traders. I will spend a couple of minutes with you um, to talk about a very important topic. Should we trade or not trade economic news? This is the question I've been often asked, and I don't have a clear-cut answer, despite being a trader for the last 7, 8 years and a vivid news trader. But the answer here is not clear cut because there's a timing for everything, especially when dealing with news, and especially when dealing with news in forex, and especially when you have to focus on very few, or you can focus on very few pairs as opposed to uh, focusing on all of them or just one. So basically, what I want to tell you is that seasonality is very important. You're watching now the pound trade from last week, February 19. The news that came out were a job report in England. As you can see, I posted two trades. I will explain furthermore on this topic, on the technical topic of trading the trades um, on another session, but how to do it and with what timing. But what I want to talk about right now is should we or should we not? This example is a clear-cut one where the move is swift to the downside after the news announcement, and the question should we or should we not is answered by the numbers here. But this is not always the situation. So therefore, when, why, what type of risk should you carry? All these questions should be answered before you want to place the trade, and of course you want to place the trade on the pair that has basically the biggest amount of movement, or the biggest average amount of movement during the news release. So in this market, those who are following us in the room know that there's basically one big winner in the last 6 months in the forex market, and this is the pound. Pound versus the dollar, pound versus the Swiss franc, pound versus the Australian dollar, pound versus the yen. The pound is the big winner and is definitely the biggest mover. So therefore, if you want to trade news, you won't trade the news on the euro against the Swiss franc, which carries almost no news and carries, of course, the least amount of movement. But you want to trade the pound. In order to trade the pound against a competitor which is not very strong, for example, I'd rather trade the pound against the dollar when the dollar is weak, and not against the yen when the yen is relatively strong, like it happened in the last 2 months. So there are different or quite an array of reasons, and that you should take into consideration when trading news. Some of them regard the fundamentals, some of them regard risk, some of them regard technicalities, some of them regard timing, some of them regard exposure. Overall, I would say yes, I want to trade news. Of course, I won't say it at all cost. Okay, for those who are telling me, okay, there is risk and there is volatility and there is slippage, I will say, of course, all of the above factors are in almost every news announcement. However, um, uh, the average gain to me seems higher than the average loss. Um, if you can't be like in the kitchen, you cannot cook. So there is heat in the kitchen. There's hit around the news announcements. Please be aware. Those who don't want to trade news, I'm completely sympathizing with them. Don't trade news. Work on technicalities. Sometimes news can get you into losing situations, and for some traders, losing 20 pips or 30 pips over 24 hours is not a problem, but losing 20 pips over 1 minute or 2 minutes is a big problem. So those who are fear the news, those who are not confident enough, stay on the sides, on the sidelines. If you don't have a big winner before the news, don't trade. And I am definitely the last one who's going to push traders into trading situations that they are not confident with. Let me summarize here. Trading news carries risk. I think the risk is higher than the reward. Let's put it this way: the reward is higher when you trade the right pair. Sometimes the reward of a trade can carry over a couple of days. The risk is most of the time capped within reasonable slippage percentage. But I would say that overall, if the question will arise, I would say yes, let's trade around news.